Hey, I hope this finds you well. I wanted to send this to you yesterday and then Monday'd hard, which actually would have been really appropriate to share yesterday based on what I'm about to say to you, which is about the power of an inch. Had the opportunity over the weekend to have a conversation with a very dear friend of mine who lives in New Zealand, which, just side note, is in and of itself very cool to be having a conversation with a friend in New Zealand. But she's somebody whose opinion I trust very much, particularly as a fellow writer. And I was sharing a new song that I've written, and I was sharing it with her to get her feedback. And part of this central image in the song is a tree, and particularly climbing a tree, because no one's ever used a tree as a metaphor before. So, but anyway, I was characterizing how I was climbing up the tree step by step, and she took issue with this. I didn't know that she was, in a sort of former life, had been one of these adults who's a tree climbing enthusiast, not just the ones that groom and address trees, but it's a hobby, it's a sport of climbing trees, obviously very big ones. And she was talking about one time that she was climbing a tree. And as you could imagine, there are moments when you're climbing a tree, or perhaps climbing in life, and you hit a spot where you just can't see a way up. And then you look and you go, I can't see a way down. And that gets pretty scary because you're stuck. And she said, I found myself in this place where I was just terrified because I was way up this tree and I just couldn't see a way up and I couldn't see a way back down. And I just was getting more and more tense and tight. And then one of her fellow climbers yelled over, hey, can you find an inch? Can you find an inch? Because sometimes if you can just shift a little this way, a little that way, move your hand that way, your foot that way, get that little bit of an inch, sometimes it can give you a new perspective. You can log a win, get some sense of momentum. Wait, okay, so maybe I'm not so stuck. At the very least, it could help shake you out of that fear and loosen you up so you're not feeling so stuck and entrenched. This comes up for me a lot in my own life, personally. It also comes up for me professionally in the work that I do serving as an authentic communication coach and helping people to step free of this sense of feeling like they're being somebody else in every space they enter. So when they're working on a project or having a conversation or just figuring out where they want to go next, they have this sense of that they're dialed into their own voice. But it feels far away. So we very often we release the need to make massive leaps and instead have tiny little inches, tiny little steps along the way. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in one last way of looking at this. I've talked before that I have a practice of looking for beauty everywhere. That is just pausing during my day and taking 5-10 seconds and just noticing something that I'm delighting in, like a crack in the concrete with the grass growing through or a flower growing through or the way a shadow is playing. Or it's wintertime and I'm not built for winter. I'm 6'6" and very lean. Skinny, some say, and yet I love one thing about winter. For me personally, well, I like the clothes I get to wear in winter because they flatter my lean frame better. But I also really love the experience of going out to my car on a bitterly cold day when my car has been sitting in the sun for hours. Yes. And you open the car and you get in the car and you're just like getting wrapped in this cozy little capsule. Oh man, it's delicious. I love it. And in that moment, no matter how overwhelmed I am about my day, no matter how busy I am about my day, no matter how overwhelmed I am about what's going on in the world, I just take a moment and and it's like I find an inch to get a different perspective, to get a little momentum, to get a little bit further on my way and to see possibilities that maybe I didn't see before. So I offer you that today. Whatever you got going on professionally, personally, whatever your relationship with what's going on in the world is that might feel overwhelming or burdensome or has got you locked up on something, maybe release the need to make large leaps. Can you just find an inch? Whether that looks like looking for beauty everywhere, whether that looks like just taking the step that seems too silly, too simple, like that's too easy. Well, maybe there's a win there. Maybe there's a shift in perspective. Yeah, hopefully that all knitted together in a way that's useful to you. I hope you're being very, very good to you. I hope you'll continue being very good to you, and I will talk to you soon. Have a wonderful day.